During this time when there's so much focus on our physical health, it's important not to forget about our mental health.
Hand washing, not touching our faces, social distancing, these are all helping to protect us from the coronavirus. But how can we boost our mental health right now?
I think what makes it important as student athletes is that they need a place where they can come and they can talk and not have to feel alone with how they're feeling, that they know that it's okay not to be okay, that they can be vulnerable, and that courage comes from vulnerability, not necessarily from, gritting and bearing it or always using that grit, because once we use up that resiliency that we have as people, we got to fill it back up again. And so I'm here to help them figure out how to do that effectively. If you think of wellness and well-being from a holistic perspective, we have to take care of all parts of ourselves, not just one piece, because if we take care of one piece and put all of our energy into one spot, things in the other areas of life that need to be well start to kind of fall off, and there's not that balance that we need to create. Everyone's context right now is 2020 and coronavirus. So we talk a lot about that, kind of worrying about their families, worrying about their siblings, wanting to be home for life happenings and not wanting to have to quarantine for 2 weeks when they get back so they can, be safe and keep their teammates and their coaches safe. We talk about that a lot. So stress, anxiety, we have student athletes who are depressed, who come in and they've been in kind of a low spot for a while, and getting out of it's really challenging. We're doing therapy. We're doing cognitive behavioral therapy. We're talking about how we find balance through dialectics, and we're talking about trauma. And we have student athletes who, they have a great deal of resiliency. They've been through things in their lives that many people couldn't even imagine, things that you couldn't make up. And so, we're working on those things too. And so we are on the full continuum of the mental health spectrum, as far as stress to trauma to, thoughts of suicide and wanting to not be in this world because things have gotten that bad. And so we are taking care of all of it the best that we can. I'm trained in mental health first aid. So mental health first aid is a training that allows us to teach people how to identify, understand, and respond to a mental health crisis or one that's potentially developing. I brought to the administration this opportunity to get trained in mental health first aid, and so I brought that certification with me when I started here. There's lots of articles, there's lots of research out there about the risk that our student athletes face for self-harm, for suicide, for anxiety and depression. A coach is going to see a student athlete struggling with mental health way before I am. So I had coaches, staff, people who directly with our student athletes attend this training. And when they came in, the discomfort in even talking about mental health is there. It's present for people. But when they walked out, by and large, they all felt like they were able to identify when a crisis could be potentially occurring, starting, kind of at that beginning stage, and all the way like I'm in a full-blown crisis. Like I am experiencing a mental health crisis right now. And we taught them how to identify, understand, and respond to that so that they can get them to the appropriate professional help. Safety is always going to be a priority to me. And I think as we bring this into our department, our goal really is to train as many people as we possibly can in this therapeutic, technique, in that we are just sort of those first responders, that we can respond to that mental health crisis and get them to the right person so that they can get better faster.